Hello and welcome to another SkaredCast battle report. Today, a cool scenario, Khorne Deamon facing off against a throwback Black Templar army here on SkaredCast. We've got Jared throwing down, and we're playing a mission from the Black Legion book, where we've got the Black Templars in the middle, and demons and Khorne coming from all sides. Join the community today by supporting over on Patreon, as well as liking the Facebook page and visiting other social media like Instagram, Twitter. Check the links down below. The barren wasteland that is Khazir Lutien. The Space Marines, the Black Templar, 9th Crusade have made planetfall to try and push a counterattack against the Chaos forces. Knowing that the enemy is arriving, Abaddon dispatches a Demon Prince of Khorne, the Demon Prince of Khorne, to engage the new threat with his forces. So we've got Khorne Deamon 1,500 points, versus Black Templars, 1,500 points. The Black Templars find themselves surrounded with Spawn and Chaos Terminators in their rear guard and the main spearhead of the Chaos forces in their front, the north side of the battlefield. The Chaos forces are indeed going to go first, unless the Black Templars, led by the Emperor's Champion in his Crusader squad, successfully seize the initiative. We've got melter guns here in the back, ready to nuke the Land Raider Crusader. We've got two fast-moving Chaos Spawn ready to bust open the Rhinos before they get to move, and the Vindicator, as well as the Blood Crushers of Khorne, a Bloodthirster, and all the forces Chaos has brought to bear. So, Jared, have a fun game.
Good luck.
Good luck. The victory condition. The Khorne Deamon need to kill more units
equal to or more
than the amount of turns the game goes. So, if the game goes 7 turns, they need to kill 7 units or more. If the game goes 5 turns, they need to kill 5 units or more. Completely wipe them out. My job as a Black Templar is simple. Survive. So that is the name of the game. Okay, the fateful roll.
Not a 6, not a 6, not a 6.
Let's see. I haven't played my Black Templars in a long time, so I'm looking forward to this game like nobody's business. Let's see what happens. It is a 3, and the Khorne Deamon go first. The battle started with the Spawn advancing into the flank here. One Spawn destroying this Vindicator in combat. One Spawn whiffing horribly and taking a wound to a plasma gun. In other news, the Black Templars made their saves, and the 3 melter guns missed the Land Raider. And then the Mauler Fiend failed a 5-inch charge or a 7-inch charge with a reroll. And then we did have the Bloodthirster jump over, charge into the Terminators after whipping one to death, giving the Black Templars counterattack into cover. The Black Templar Sergeant and the other Terminators succeed in putting 2 wounds on the Blood Demon, but he's fearless. Mm-hmm. So he didn't run away, and he killed the Sergeant in a challenge, missing
5 attacks.
5 attacks. Yeah, hitting on 3s with his weapon skill 10. The Terminators holding on for dear life. Okay. So, it is 1 kill to the KDK, and luckily enough, the Land Raider Crusader did not die, which means that there is a game afoot. It's not going to be as easy for the Khorne Deamon as they might have originally thought. Moving on to the next turn. Turn 1 was quite eventful. We had the Venerable Dreadnought make a crazy charge and kill 2 of the Blood Crushers, and 1 is surviving, which helps keep him alive from the melter gun. Over here, the Rhino moved up, the Tactical Squad disembarked, blew that Spawn into oblivion, while that Spawn was taken down to 1 wound thanks to the Rhino. In combat, One Terminator is left alive, holding the Bloodthirster in place. While I failed 3 out of 3 Storm Shield saves against the Mauler Fiend.
Yeah, Mauler Fiend!
And one guy is left fighting, the squad leader is left fighting the possessed Chaos Space Marines. He is so dead. Meanwhile, this Land Raider Crusader killed all 8 of those blood letters by just shooting them to bits with bolters. And the Empress Champion led a glorious charge to go and murder the Terminators and then consolidate. So, we are now moving on to turn 2, and they have 8 blood tithe points. Let's see what happens. The Khorne Deamonkin summoned a mighty skull cannon of Khorne that murdered 5 of the Space Marines, while these Chaos Space Marines charged in and wrecked that Rhino. The Dreadnought flailed against the demonic creature and failed to kill it as it passed both of its invulnerable saves. Meanwhile, the Great Bloodthirster killed the last Terminator, and the Possessed and Maul Fiend took the last save off the Assault Terminator Sergeant. Also in this combat, we had the Emperor's Champion die to the Blood Crushers while the Spawn survived with 1 wound remaining, and the Demon, with his super sword of awesome,
the Gore Drinker.
The Gore Drinker killed 5 models, making him crazy, amazing, strength 10 and rampage. And so now we've got a beleaguered Crusader squad, a tactical unit, a venerable Dreadnought, the Land Raider Crusader facing off against the crazy blood tithe forces of the Khorne Deamonkin. Let's see what will happen. We had the tactical unit murder the Skull Cannon, and the Blood Crushers annihilate 5 models, while the Demon Prince killed another 4 models. So there's only 2 of the Crusader squad left alive. Meanwhile, the Land Raider Crusader failed to stop the Mauler Fiend, which means that he is looking at a fiery death, and the Dreadnought, once again, did not kill that Blood Crusher. We're moving on to turn 3. So we had the Black Templars murdered by the Demon Prince in combat, and the Mauler Fiend did 3 penetrating hits on the Land Raider and blew it sky high, while the Bloodthirster mopped up the tactical Marines as they plead for the Emperor's mercy. Meanwhile, in combat, the Possessed charged into the Venerable Dreadnought, put 1 hull point on him, and he failed to hit. The Dreadnought failed to hit any other models. So, the game is won by the Khorne Deamonkin, but how long will the Venerable Dreadnought survive? We shall see. Templars, we've killed the last Blood Crusher finally, and he is now going to be swinging against the Possessed. So we're moving on to turn 4 for the Black Templars. He has 4 attacks because he is a hungry Venerable Dreadnought, needing 3s to hit you because of weapon skill 5. And he needs 2s to wound you with his strength 10. 2 invulnerable saves for the Possessed.
So 1 guy will die?
1 guy goes down.
I'll see if they possess strength 6.
They do
not.
So 1 guy goes down, and now we're moving on to Khorne Deamonkin. Turn 5. He's running in his strength 10 and his big Bloodthirster guy. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So they're charging in, of course.
And I'm going to give them all Fierce Charge and Rage.
Okay, there we go. I love it.
So yeah, they're both making it in.
They're going to get lots of attacks at high initiative. Let's see what happens.
5.
This is the
6, 7. So he has to go first.
Okay.
All right. So he has strength 7 on the charge.
Cool.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Needing
6,
3s to hit.
7, 8.
Lots of hits and strength.
7.
Needing 5.
2 glances.
2 glancing hits, which will kill the Venerable Dreadnought. And with that, the game is over, as the Chaos forces were completely prepared for the Black Templar onslaught, and the Templars have been annihilated. Victory to Chaos!
Blood for the Blood God!
And a very cool battle report bringing back the Black Templars. Make sure you stay tuned for the Tactical Corner. Playing scenarios like this is always fun. This was my dead pile. Lots and lots of dead Black Templar Space Marines, harkening back to the days of yore. Thanks a lot for tuning in, liking, subscribing, leaving a comment down below, and sharing with your friends. If you'd like to help us make more content, consider becoming a patron. Stay tuned for the Tactical Corner. This is Skari, your grateful host, out. Hello and welcome to another Tactical Corner here on SkaredCast, where I took my Black Templars of the 9th Crusade against Jared and his Khorne Deamon. We played a very fun scenario. It's out of the Black Legion book, and it pits the Chaos Space Marines versus a force of Space Marines, namely, in this case, the Black Templars. The scenario saw the Black Templars deploy in a sort of column with the Chaos forces on either side only 9 inches away, with the Chaos forces enacting the ambush and having the first turn. Now on the south side he was only able to put 3 units, a couple of spawn and terminators, and on the north side he had to deploy all his main forces, including the demons, so Blood Crashers, Chaos Space Marines, the Bloodthirster, basically all the nasty stuff. So I tried to deploy as far back as physically possible, and once failed to seize initiative, I kind of braced for the impact of the first turn. Now I was hoping that I was going to be able to mitigate the first turn alpha strike and then do enough damage to hold off the assailants later in the game. So the game started pretty much as I expected, the Bloodthirster and the units charging up the board. I was pleasantly surprised to see the Terminators fail to kill the Land Raider Crusader. This was pivotal to my strategy. And then the Bloodthirster charge into the Tactical Terminators, which I put there as a sort of screen. In retrospect, I should have put the larger blob and left the Terminators towards the back. So in my turn, I had a choice. I needed to deal with that Mauler Fiend, and I needed to kill the things in my backfield to allow me to retreat towards my southern table edge to create some room. Now, this sort of went to plan when the Bloodthirster didn't kill the Terminators, but in the Mauler Fiend combat, my Assault Terminators failed all their Storm Shield saves. This meant that the last Lightning Claw Terminator was facing off against the remainder of the possessed Chaos Space Marines and also the Mauler Fiend without being able to do any significant damage. He did eventually die, and because of that, the Mauler Fiend was free to roam, and that Mauler Fiend was just brutal, killing the Land Raider Crusader, and just that was like the beginning of the end. Now, something that was really cool was seeing the Khorne Deamon King using their Decurion style detachment that gave them a lot of Blood Tithe points, which meant they was able to summon a Skull Cannon and some Blood Letters and other things, but also it allows them to use a second benefit from the Blood Tithes. So this game was very short and very brutal, and lots of blood flowed on the battlefield for Khorne. Now, what would you have done differently as the Black Templars player? Do you enjoy scenarios like this, or do you prefer to stick to the basic rulebook missions or mission systems like the ITC? Please leave a comment down below and let me know what it is you would have done differently. I've also written a small article on the list, and I've revamped the Templar list, so soon we will see them on the channel again. Thanks for watching. This is Skari, out.